Good morning. It is Monday, December 16th of 2024. I'm recording a little bit later than I usually do. Ironic given that my last video I recorded earlier than I usually do, but the weekend was just super busy, and so I didn't really get time until today. So um, in-laws came and went. Kitchen replacement is done, so that's really good to see. I think that will hopefully add a lot of value to the house when we get ready to sell here in the next uh, 3 months or so. Unfortunately, the process of getting the kitchen done didn't go nearly as well as I would have liked. So the in-laws got in Saturday, we started talking, we got the plan ready, we were all good to go. Woke up Sunday morning and wasn't feeling great. I had a little packet of donuts because my blood sugar was low, so I ate that, and then immediately began to feel sick. And I thought it was because my in-laws smoke a lot, and I thought, man, is this? I haven't been around smoking as much as I was when I was a kid, and I'm getting older. Maybe my tolerance is just gone. But ultimately, we ended up running some errands to try to find appliances or something like that. And I ended up throwing up on that trip. And then from that point on, where it was like 12:30, every hour I was throwing up again, at least until 4, and then it was just every 20 minutes. Then I got the shakes, or the shivers, the chills. That's what it is. So Gabby made me go to the hospital. Turns out I was in something called compensative shock. Because I just couldn't. I hadn't kept any food or drink down since maybe 9 a.m. that morning, and at this point in the hospital, it's like 8 or something like that. And quite frankly, I was a little disappointed with my hospital stay. I always thought that if I ever actually had to be hospitalized for something, I would get maybe some fun painkillers or some good time to spend with it. And really, all I got was a really terrible IV put in that hurt the whole time, and a bad crick in my neck because of the uncomfortableness of the hospital bed. And I didn't even get to listen to the in room TV the whole time because the volume didn't work. So, ultimately that sucked. And then around, I don't know, 1 a.m., I was like, all right, Gabby, you got to go home because it's not clear if I'm going to be able to help with the kitchen tomorrow. And her dad was back here doing the work without us, even though when we had pitched him coming out to help us, we said we do all the physical labor. We just needed him to point and tell us what to do. So I told her, go home, get some sleep. I'll call you when I'm discharged, because at that point they were telling me, we're going to put you on another IV bag. It's going to take 2 hours as a slow drip. And so, but my phone had only 20% battery, so she left me with hers um, so that I could call her when I was getting discharged. And then the nurse walks in, 3 hours later, hands me discharge paperwork, and I'm like, okay, cool, let me call my wife so I can get picked up. And her phone starts to update, and I'm like, ugh. So I was dressed and ready to leave by the time it was done updating, um, and so I ended up sitting in the bathroom in the lobby, waiting for her to come pick me up. So that wasn't super fun. And then Monday, um, I got a good amount of sleep, felt better, so I was able to help um, quite a bit with the kitchen renovation. But Tuesday and Wednesday, I felt terrible again because I guess they gave me the liquid version of the meds, and that worked a lot better than the the pill version that they then prescribed me with. So all in all, it was a pretty crappy weekend, and wouldn't 10 out of 10 wouldn't recommend. I think it was the donuts that did it to me because I had another. I had some. I had more of them on Tuesday, and they all come in these little individual packets. So I didn't really think anything of it until I had more of them on Tuesday or on Monday, and then got sick again. So never let it be said I can't learn my lesson. Um, but that was fine. And then of course, work was chaos because I'd been gone 3 days, and that's always a nightmare to get that cleaned up on the back end. But what can you do? So we went on Saturday to lunch with some of Gabby's coworkers, and oh boy, we got the drama storm. We had been to dinner with another one of her coworkers that was part of this trio, and he had alluded to problems in that group of friends, but it was very clear that the problem was in fact him. Turns out he was like borderline stalking the girl in the group and trying to make moves on her, even when we were having her dog sit for us while we were on vacation. He had been using manipulative tactics to come over here with her and make a move on her. Oh, and the whole thing just. And then eventually he started letting it affect work. He submitted like anonymous complaints about the other two in the group, trying to get them separated. It was just, and ultimately he was fired from work. The official reason that he told us was because he had 2 unexcused work from home days, and we think the reason they gave him was actually that he was gambling during work hours. But beyond that, we think the real reason that they wanted to fire him was because it was very clear from the multiple complaints he submitted that he was harassing the other 2 members of that group. So that's always crazy to see. Sometimes you never know with people. And I won't toot my own horn here and say that I knew something was up with him, but I did always have the opinion that whenever we were hanging out with that group and he was there, I was always kind of like, okay, like, I'm not over the moon about him. I was much more excited when it was the other 2 that were present. So I think on some level I had a sense for that, which is why I wasn't like, oh my god, incredibly surprised when we found out that he had been doing that to them. So, but still, you hate to see it. I mean, he's 32, something like that, so 4-ish years older than me, 5-ish years older than me. He's behaving like he's 14. You gotta grow up, and I was telling Gabby that my opinion regarding those kind of things is that it's hard to explain. If you're capable of doing stuff like he did, where he was sort of stalking her and submitting complaints and stuff like that, that's not just behavior that someone has that is isolated from the rest of their personality. So like what I guess what I'm saying is that only people who act in a very particular way are capable of that kind of behavior. You're not going to find someone relatively normal like me or my brother or the other guy in this group who do those things, because when you're capable of that kind of behavior, it bleeds into the rest of your personality and the way you view the world. So I get the sense that we always sort of knew that was underlying, especially me and the other guy, because I think men can inherently sense it better than women, because at some point we all go through something like that where we might either dance around, get really close to, or in some cases cross a line. So it's just something that I think men are more aware of than women are. So ultimately, I think it's probably a good thing that it all came out so that everybody can kind of move on. I mean, I have tremendous sympathy for her. So for his victim, which is a weird thing to have to say, but um, ultimately, I'm glad that it came to some kind of resolution. Beyond that, Christmas is around the corner. Uh, I was really worried about Aiden's gift coming in on time, but I just got the confirmation on Saturday that it is done and will be in the mail as of today. And then Gabby's gift shipped yesterday, so I think that sort of clears it up. There's a ton of gifts under the tree at the moment. You can't see them, but they are all for our daughter. So I'm like, who's 4.5 months, will be close to 5 months. So I think that's a little silly, but you know, makes the wife happy, so makes me happy. Beyond that, I don't have a ton of other updates. The move progresses slowly but surely. It seems like the D&D group is comfortable with the sessions, and it seems like we're actually gonna modify things a little bit so that they end up coming up to us once a month to do Warhammer games. So that's encouraging to see. I was really afraid that they were gonna hear about the move and go, we don't think this is gonna last. So I'm very happy to see that. And beyond that, uh, I think that's all I have as far as an update goes. So um, see you next time.